It feels like AI is absolutely everywhere, right? It's writing our emails, composing music, even helping doctors diagnose diseases. And it's moving so fast, you've got to wonder, is there anything it can't do? Let's really dig into the real and maybe surprising limits of artificial intelligence.
You know, for decades, we've heard these super confident predictions about what AI will never be able to do. A classic one is right here. The idea that a computer could never, ever outthink a human chess grandmaster.
And the fascinating thing is, this prediction, and so many others just like it, all share one crucial characteristic. Yep, they had one thing in common. They were just plain wrong. The last few years especially have been an absolute explosion of AI capabilities, turning stuff that was pure science fiction yesterday into our reality today. So, to really get a handle on AI's limits, we first need a framework for what knowledge even is. And for that, we're going to use something called the DIKW pyramid. This pyramid is actually a fantastic way to think about intelligence. See, it all starts at the bottom with data. Just raw facts, no context, like those numbers there. Now, when we add context, like say, these are the ages of people in a room, it becomes information. Then when we interpret that information, we get knowledge. Okay, most people in here are under 21. But the very top, the peak, is wisdom. That's applying the knowledge, like deciding, hey, let's play some age-appropriate games. Now, today's AI is incredible at climbing that ladder from information to knowledge. But that final leap to true wisdom, that's the real frontier.
So with that pyramid in our back pocket, let's take a quick look at some of those supposedly impossible limits that AI has already completely shattered.
For the longest time, complex strategic reasoning was seen as uniquely human. Then, back in 1997, IBM's Deep Blue did the unthinkable. It beat Garry Kasparov, the world chess champion. This wasn't just about winning a game, you know. It was about a machine showing a level of foresight and planning that so many people believed was impossible for a computer. So that limit? Yeah, conquered. Okay, but what about our language? With all its nuance and humor and weird idioms, surely that was safe. Well, then came 2011, and IBM's Watson went on Jeopardy, a game literally built on puns and wordplay, and it just dominated. It wasn't just processing questions, it understood the meaning, the clever twists. So another supposed limits? Gone.
Okay, but what about creativity? Computers can't create, right? Well, modern generative AI is creating entirely new art and music. And when people argue, oh, it's just remixing what it's learned, just think about this for a second. Isn't that what human artists do? We all have influences that shape our work. AI is basically doing the same thing, creating new things from the sum of its learning. It's proving that even the spark of creation wasn't beyond its reach. So with all those huge milestones in the rearview mirror, what are the limits that developers are actively wrestling with right now? This is the active frontier. Two of the biggest hurdles right now are emotional intelligence and something called hallucinations. AI is getting unbelievably good at simulating empathy, but does it truly feel anything? That's a huge question. And then you have hallucinations, where an AI will confidently just invent facts. The good news is we're making real progress. Techniques like retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, basically force the AI to check its work against a source of facts before answering, and that's making this much less of a problem.
So now let's look beyond the immediate stuff and into the great unknowns. These are the really profound, long-term questions that will define the ultimate limits of AI.
This one is huge. An AI can process a sentence, sure, but does it really comprehend the meaning and the context behind the words? Or is it just an incredibly sophisticated simulation of understanding? That line is getting very, very blurry.
And this takes us even deeper. Does an AI know that it exists? Does it have a subjective experience, a consciousness? You know, at this point, we're not even talking about computer science anymore. This is pure philosophy, and we are nowhere near a definitive answer. So, what we're left with are these massive mountains to climb. We're talking about artificial general intelligence, or AGI, a single system that's as smart as a human in every single domain. And beyond that, things like true ethical judgment, genuine common sense, and the capacity for deep emotions like joy or loss or accomplishment. For now, this is still the stuff of science fiction.
And this all brings us to what might be the most important point of all. The ultimate limit of AI might not be technical, but human. It's about our role in guiding it.
You see, the most effective model is a partnership. We humans are way better at defining the what, the overall objective, and, crucially, the why, the purpose and the meaning behind it all. The AI, on the other hand, is just brilliant at figuring out the how. Once we give it a goal, it can automate the execution with incredible speed and efficiency.
When you look back at the history of AI, you see this one clear pattern. Experts declare a limit, and then innovators just break right through it. So if there's one takeaway from all of this, it's that the people who have confidently said what AI can't do have almost always been proven wrong. So my advice, don't bet against AI.